Hi everyone, it's January the 23rd. I can't remember which episode. It'll pop up, or it has already. And I thought I'd get my backside into gear. And, sorry, I'm just going to take my shoes off. Oh, I'm a barefoot person, really. So I thought I'd better do this before I give away some of my knits tonight. And they're very special knits, and essentially some of the most special knits I do. So more about that in a bit. I just had some biscuits to eat. I stuck in my teeth. I'm in Australia, in Melbourne, and it's, as I said, 23rd of January, so it's midsummer, height of summer. It's cool today, which is good. And though we did have 35 degrees C the other day, and that was pretty warm. And I don't really knit a lot in summer in comparison to obviously my winter time. I always knit. I'm always knitting something, but tends to just be smaller things, or I don't know, I haven't got as much motivation to, try new things and be right into something. So, So here we go. If you'll need to excuse me, right at the end of December, after Christmas, I got sick. And also since I've seen you, it's taken me a while to have a voice and then to stop coughing. And I realised I'm still coughing, so I apologise for that. I have also had a hip replacement since I last saw you. And I was going to do a blog, and anyway, I couldn't be bothered. So it's life. And this will be a little bit different, because I'm going to try and record it so that I don't have as much editing to do, because that tends to hold me back, because the editing is 2 to 3 hours, and then you've got to load it up, and then you've got to do the description box and that sort of thing. So really, for every 1 hour of video that I record, it's probably about 3 to 4 hours normally of effort. So I'm going to try and get that down to a 1-to-1 ratio. That would be nice. And so I'm not going to put as many captions and that sort of thing, a bit of live footage at the end, but and possibly some insert photos, but I'm trying not to have to listen back to the whole episode. So if you see some mistakes, just let me know. So what have I been up to? I have, for the first 2 weeks, so we moved back from New Zealand. I think the last week in New Zealand was the last time I did a recording, which would have been the beginning of November. And then we moved back, and within 5 days I had my left hip a total hip replacement. For those interested, I had a posterior, minimally invasive posterior approach, and it's been a bit up and down. So the first 4 weeks were fantastic, and I was barreling along, and then I got very sore. And essentially I have been fighting that very sore for about 5 weeks. I'm heading into, I think we're 10 weeks tomorrow. And I've basically done too much. My hip is fine, my implant is fine, the everything is fine, and I've had that verified with the surgeon, physiotherapist, exercise physiologist. I've just done too much. Typical. So I've just done too much. So essentially I'm back on crutches. Do you like my wombat? He's very gorgeous. Essentially I'm back on crutches, at least one. Trying to reduce, so we reduced 3 things. We force, duration and repetition. And basically I've got to reduce all 3. So if I want to go for a 15-minute walk, I've got to do a 10-minute walk. And I've got to get 3 days pain-free. And when I get 3 days pain-free, that'll be my baseline. Haven't got there yet. Anyway, here to talk about knitting. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, and I want to do a big shout out and love to Joanne and to Jody Joanne's in the UK. She's about 2 weeks behind me in terms of her hip journey, hip progress. And Jodie was about 4 or 5 weeks, I think, behind me. Jo got on her feet pretty quickly, and that was lovely to see. She had a different type of surgery, but still the same thing done. And I hope she's doing really well. I haven't talked to her for a while. I've talked to Joanne a bit, and we're tracking a little bit similarly. So it's a cautionary tale. Don't overdo it. But I am getting a new grandchild. I'm getting my 4th grandchild, the first child of my 2nd child. Excuse me. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for them. Very heart-full child. Every baby is heart-full. Every baby is loved and appreciated. And yeah. All right. Hubby just rang, so he's on his way home from golf. Want to know what there was for lunch. So it's, I don't know what time it is. Oh, in late morning on Thursday. So let's have a look at what I've been knitting. So as I said, we're grandchild number 4. So in my family, what I do for my kids is when they have their first child, I knit an heirloom blanket. And this pattern is the Patons feather shawl, and it's knit in 4-ply, and I use Bendigo Woollen Mills Luxury in 4-ply, and I knit. So the history is my grandmother knit one for my mum, her daughter-in-law, and my Nana was the one that taught me to knit. So she knit one for us, and we have a family. So we have a family shawl. And then when my daughter was born 32 years ago, I knit one for her or for my family. And then when, so I just knit the one. So then I started a little thing that wasn't a little thing, but I started a little thing that when my daughter had her first, I did a Patons feather shawl for her family as an heirloom. And so this one I've done for my 2nd child, my first boy, and this will be their heirloom blanket. And basically every child gets their own blanket, but this is the family blanket, and I do one of these. So I started this one about 2 years ago in anticipation of at least one of them having a kid, and I got halfway through the centre garter panel and spilt tea on it. And so I tried washing it, I tried all sorts of things, but I couldn't get it out. So I ripped that back, threw that away in the end because I tried all sorts of things. Re-knit the panel, and at that point in time I knit about 20 or 30 rounds. So basically what I do is you knit the panel, and then you pick up stitches right around and the 4 sides. So it's about 400 stitches at that point. And by the end, it's 800-900 stitches by about there around. So it's very challenging and very slow. It's the old adage, Rome wasn't built in a day. So essentially I got to about here and I put it down for 12 months. I didn't get any more done. And then they announced they were pregnant. And so I thought, right, back onto the heirloom. And when I picked it up, I really did not like the pickup. So I did not like the pickup I had done. And it was bumpy and horrible. So it's sort of like this, but way worse. So I ripped it all out. I ripped all this out. to there. And then I discovered that actually the bumps were part of the reason it was bumpy was the way I had knitted the garter square. So the garter square got pulled, half of the garter square got pulled back. So this blanket and I were not friends at this point. And I re-knit it more carefully. That's the wrong side. That's the right side. I knit it more carefully and then picked up beautifully, and I'm very happy with that. It can sit as an heirloom now. So then we basically do a feather and fan for there, and then you leave all the live stitches here and you knit vertically, chewing up all those stitches. You do the edging, so it's a 17 stitch edging, and basically there's increases. It's a 10 row edging. I forget how many points there are on it. 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. Sorry, this is riveting. 30, 32, 34, 35. So about 36 points. So 36 pattern repeats. So there's 360 rows per side, and there's 4 sides. So 36 by 4 is 72, 144. So it's 144. So it's 1,440 rows around the edge of the blanket. And the magic in this is the blocking. So I use blocking wires on a mat and essentially run the wire through all the points so that we get a nice block like that. So this will be a hand wash. I will offer to hand wash it for them when it needs it. So if but they're there to be used. And my daughter has used hers on all 3 children. It's especially lovely in the winter time. It traps air in the layers. It's a very fine blanket, so we tend to use it like that on them, or with the baby wrapped in it. But it tends to be used in a crib, just like that. So I've told them they're not to put it in a cabinet. It's to be used, and that's what they do. And basically, I'm very proud of it. So that's my feather shawl for family number 2. And then every grandchild gets their own blanket. And I try and work with the parents to, normally it's the mum, because the mum's a bit more interested and engaged, but not always. And we come up with a colour scheme and a thinking around, and I give them some ideas. And I have Pinterest boards and I have other boards that have a whole range of baby blankets. So they could have a crocheted blanket. For our eldest grandchild, we did a hexagon crocheted blanket in cotton. And then I also did another blanket for him. He was the first grandchild. All the rest got one. The second child, what was his blanket? Can't remember. Last year I did the artist shawl, but in a square, and I used that. That was for the third grandchild. I'll find it and I'll try and put pictures of them all up. And so this grandchild number 4, there's a few nods. It's very heavy. I don't know what I've done. I've created a monster. It's huge, so it's going to fit in a single bed. So that's all right. It'll mean it lasts. So basically, it is the Stella Quilt expansion pack, and I've used Wild Earth yarns. I've used Eden 8 ply. and I've done pinwheels. So essentially from August last year, this is an 8 ply, so it's a DK weight. From August last year, I was making these triangle by triangle squares. So those squares. And I got very good at it. Now, the Stella quilt is a join as you go. I couldn't get my join as you go neat enough, or for me. So I decided, for portability's sake and for my own sanity, I would do all small squares and sew them together. And that's what I did. So essentially, I had a lot more ends than everybody else. And then it was so big. We don't know whether it's a girl or boy. So it's quite gender neutral. We have blues and we have pinks and we have greens and we have darks and browns and all sorts of colours. But essentially, I sewed, so let's have a look at the back. Don't we all want to look at the back? Essentially, I sewed it all together, and I just used a mattress stitch, I think, and where you pull it up and it becomes invisible. So it didn't matter at the front whether I seamed in the white or the coloured. I tended to do the coloured internally in the pinwheel, and then between the rows I used the white mainly, sort of what I had left over. Wasn't a cheap blanket, but that's okay. And I did an I-cord edge. And to do the I-cord edge, I picked up a row right round, because when I started to do the I-cord edge without that picked up row, I had a stripe of the colour sitting in between this is called pistachio, sitting in between the pistachio and the I-cord. I had a row, for example, of the dark green. So to avoid that, I picked up in the pistachio, picked up stitches right round, and I just had a circular needle just going ahead by 3 or 4 blocks. Basically, I pick up that much at once, and then do my I-cord, and then I pick up again a bit further round. And when I got to the corners, I just made it up. I went round the corner by making additional rows. And so some of them, it was a 4-stitch I-cord, and some of them I slipped the last stitch, and some of them I knitted. So I think if you looked and had 3 stitches around the corner, before the first stitch I would do 1 row with a slip at the end, but not picking up that 3rd stitch, and then I-cord down, pick up the 3rd stitch, I-cord down, slip again, I-cord down, knit all 4, and then I-cord down, pick up the second one, and then do that in reverse around the corner. So you essentially get, in over 3 stitches, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional rows. So I'd have 9 rows over 3 stitches instead of 3 rows over 3 stitches through here. Although every block and every middle of the block, I did do an extra row of I-cord without picking up one of the stitches, just to give it because I-cord's very rigid. I also did this on a 4mm, I did the blanket on a 4mm needle, and I did the I-cord edge on a 4.5mm needle. So just because I didn't want it to pull in, because otherwise it sort of does that, and if you don't want that to happen. So it's very big. I'll put some pictures of it up. But it's very woolly, and it's very beautiful, and it's knit with lots of love. And I'm hoping that this child will love it as their blanket till they're old and grey. And again, I've said it's to be used. If they don't want to wash it, I'm happy to wash it for them. And I used 6 colours, and I used their daisy colour for the cream. I think from memory, one 50-gram ball of daisy in the cream and the daisy, and 150-gram ball of the colour would do 3 pinwheels. So I've done the equivalent of 6. So every colour there's 2 balls. And then there was one colour, this one, where I decided to make it bigger, which probably didn't need to be, but I decided to make it bigger, and so to do another row I needed two more pinwheels, so I've used 1.5 balls of this one. Yeah, but it's very lovely and I'm very happy with it. So there you go. You can come now, baby. It's not due till March, but you can come now. I don't mind. So no, you stay there until you're ready, until you're baked properly. So yeah. So they, my friends, so that's the Stella Quilt expansion pack. So you've got to buy the pattern, and then you buy the £2 expansion pack, which just gives you other ideas. That's by Laura Penrose. So I'll have it all down in the descriptions, but I'm not going to put titles across this time. So what else have I been doing? So what I've been doing is trying to finish things. I'm trying to think whether I finished. Oh, I finished some socks. So I finished my everyday DRK socks. They are the funniest looking things. And that's in Gauge Dye Works yarn. So I'm going to take those. We're going overseas on Sunday to do some work in London for a couple of weeks, but we're going to have a holiday first. So that's going to be lovely. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Trying to think what else I finished. Oh, I think I finished this did I finish this since I last saw you? This is my Simon shawl, but I haven't put the ends in, and I really need to. So that was a progress keeper. That's the amount I had to do. I think that's been done actually since I've been home. I can't remember. I'll look at my old. So I'm very happy with that. Actually, I'll do the ends before we go so that I can go to Helsinki with it. That'll be nice. So I still haven't fixed the sleeves on my self-drafted drop shoulder cardigan, self-designed one, which I did it with Hohi. Both sleeves need fixing. So I might do that in the next 2 days so that I've got that ready to take with me. So I have a basket here. I've got my crutches. Put those over there. I have a basket with me, and essentially the basket is all the things I still need to do. And you've seen 3 things, so I still need to put ends in. Ends on Simon shawl, fix the sleeves of the drop shoulder cardigan, another pair of socks, and all they need is the heels. I have to fix a hole in this cardigan. I have to do the ends in this jumper. I have to do the ends in this jumper, which is about 12 months old now, and I haven't got round to wearing it. So as you can see, I have a few things to do. I was actually thinking, I don't know what you think, but I was thinking of a cowl, but I think I need another couple of podcasters to do it with me. So I was thinking of a fix, frog, flog, or finish cowl. The 4 Fs. Fix. So fix something that you know you're going to wear, and you just like that sleeve of that cardigan. Finish stuff. Yeah, we all know we've all got whips we've got to finish. Flog, sell it. If you don't like the stash, sell it. If you want to sell it or give it away, flog can mean multiple things. Fix, finish, flog or frog. So basically pull it out. If you're never going to wear it, if you're never going to finish it, pull it out. Do something with the yarn, or give the yarn away, or sell the yarn, or do something. So the fix, frog, flog or finish, Cal. What do you think? Would you like to do something like that? It would run, I reckon it could run 6-12 months, and we could just be a bit focused on getting some stuff done. Because I know a lot of people are trying to work from their stash, and that's really good, but my stash is way beyond what I'm ever going to use. It's more what I shop from, which is very, very privileged, and I do understand that. But I also think sometimes that I should just get on and fix stuff, or, sell off some stash that I know I'm not going to use and somebody else can use, or give it away. You can give stuff away. So I'm doing that with some of my books at the moment, trying to give them away as well. So where I just haven't used them, and I'm unlikely to, but they're beautiful books. So that's all my fix and finish and pile. Now, most of that won't get addressed while, in the next 2 months, because I'm going to be away a fair bit of time. But I'm actually going to, those 3 things. So I'm going to finish those tonight. I'm going to sew in the ends on the Simon and fix the sleeves of the other one so I can take them away. That's a really good idea. And then I can get onto that other stuff another time. What am I knitting? Oh, what am I wearing? I'm wearing a vest by Ozetta, is it? It's in a wool cotton. I'll look it up and I'll pop it down below. But I wear it quite a lot. I really enjoy it. It probably could have been a bit longer. But that's all right. So I thought I'd get on the hood. So that's all the FOs, I think. Oh, no, it's not all the FOs. This is an FO. So I've got on the hood train, and I decided I needed a hood. I went to the hairdresser this morning, so it's very straight at the moment. But anyway, so sorry if I keep playing with it. I went on the hood train and I made myself a Harris hood by Christine Mokhtari. Not sure. So this is made out of 8-ply Bendigo Woollen Mills luxury stone, and which was in stash, and a Lang alpaca, Suri alpaca. One ball of the Suri alpaca did almost everything. So basically I was a couple of rows before half, before I ran out on the face part. And I just did the rest in the 8-ply, which I figured wouldn't be as fluffy around my face anyway. So let's put it on and have a look. Lucky I can put it on today. So I thought, one of the things I thought I might do, I might steam that flatter so it's more like that. And what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to make an I-cord and stick an I-cord, even though there's no hole. I can just pull a hole open and make it look a bit more like a hoodie. So I can wear a really flat hat if it's super cold. I can wear a really flat hat in there. But I'm a bit prone to losing hats, and I thought this would be a good solution. So it looks a bit daggy, but that's what you can do. Okay, it's like a hood, like a hoodie. Okay, so I can basically use it as a cowl, and when I'm sick, when it's really horrendous and I need some extra warmth, I can put it up. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. It's the Harris hood. Harris hood? Yeah. Harris hood. It was very quick. It took me about 3 days to do, 2 or 3 days. Got nice shaping. So that's another FO, and I have woven in the ends and I have blocked it. So I'll see how I go with the cord. So that's another job to do, I-cord. So that's all my FOs, whips. So, lots of sews today. My whips, I haven't really been inspired to start some new stuff. I have 2 long-term jumpers or sweaters going. One is for my husband, and it's a big one, and it's already been going 2 winters. It's the Savin by, she's Megan, she's Mego Pearls on Instagram and Bluesky. And I'm on Bluesky now. If you would like to follow me, I'm at, so I couldn't get Continental Drift Knits. It's too long. You're limited to 18 characters. So I've put my name in as Lisa Knits, but it's in as Lisa Knits, but I think I've put the header as Continental Drift Knits, so I think you can still search by that. Anyway, so you can find me there. And now I've forgotten my train of thought. Doesn't matter. That's the age I am. So just stepping back, I haven't got a lot of whips. My Savin, that's right. I'm doing the Savin. I really need to get onto that. I can't do too much of that at the moment because I'm just about to go away. I'm not taking a major project with me. And the other major project I'm doing is a jumper or sweater for my mum called Swayline. And that's being done in very luxurious fibre, some silk mohair and a possum wool mix. So it's all ready to go. I've measured it on mum. It's looking really good. We've taken some measurements in terms of the depth of the raglan, and I'm very happy. It's just got to be done. But once again, I'm not taking a big project. It's like in a bag this big, and I'm just not going to complicate life that much. So what I'm going to do, what I've been doing is finishing some small projects. I've done the hood, I finished the socks, I finished, obviously the blankets were huge effort. I can put that one behind me, that's so pretty. And so I've just been going back to old projects and looking at my whips page. I've just been trying to get things done. So one of the things, although, 4 of my whips are blankets, so knitting and crocheting blankets in this heat when it's hot is not fun. I did do another round on my colourful crocheted blanket. So now all the ends are there to weave in. But once again, I'm not taking a whole big bag of crochet with me, so overseas. So one of the things I did think would be productive to do would be this vest. And this vest, I can't remember the name of the pattern. It's in a merino possum yarns, merino possum. I think it's 2 balls. I think that's the second ball. And essentially, I'm going to use this as an undergarment. So I'm going to use this underneath to keep me very warm. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's pretty much done. I'm going to just do a couple more rounds, and then I'm going to do an Italian bind off. I might even just bind off normally because it's 2x2 rib. It's very boring to knit. Since I picked it up, I've done that much. So I'm pretty proud of that since like 6 months ago when I put it down. And so I've just been doing 2x2 rib. So very uninteresting. But I love the shape. So essentially you do the 4 cups first, or the 4 triangles. You do this triangle, this triangle, this triangle, this triangle, put them all together and start the round. And you graft or sew the tops together to try it on. So I'm looking forward to that. So essentially that will be done in the next 2 days, 2 or 3 days too. Might be a plain job, that one. on the plane. I am going to take with me my half and half wrap. I think I'll put two skeins in. Just, I don't plan on getting it done. I might get it to halfway. I've just joined in the second skein, so I might take that skein and another skein with me and just do garter stitch, and so I don't have to think too hard. I have lots to come back to. So there are a couple of things I want to do over there. I'll talk about the trip at the end and what we're going to do. So essentially my whips are not, they're all there. Oh, excuse me. They're all there, but I just haven't, I've just been finishing them off slowly. And the blanket ones, and you know, I do a row or two and get too hot and put it down, and I'll get right back into knitting in March probably. And these essentially, I've been knitting full time on these two for, apart from small breaks. I mean, you couldn't take these to movies or stuff like that. So essentially they have been the task for the last few weeks. Yeah. So what have I also got? Oh, I had an order in. Friend and I had, Lisa, had an order in from Grocery Girls. And in their sale, I ordered a fluffy pom-pom, a couple of pom-poms, a couple of Fox and Pine stitch markers. So Fox and Pine. Some of these are laces. Stitch holders, stitch stoppers, not stitch markers like I said. And then we both ordered Jared Flood's knit and crochet blankets. And essentially there are some beautiful ones in here. I quite like, where was it? I really like the Amaro. It's hard to see in that light. That's a lace, all over lace, but it's done in cables. No, done in like a quite a thick yarn. This permafrost is lovely too. But he also has very simple graphical blankets. And where was it? Oh, I can hear my husband is home. Very simple ones as well. But I like, the one I like is, oh, that's a really nice one. Is the one that started it all off. Oh, that's a good page. So I think they're all the crocheted blankets, or they're graphical. No, they're not all crocheted. They're knit as well. I do like that one. It's very simple, but it's very modular as well. I don't know, it's probably not knit modular, but oh, I'm going to turn you off for a minute. Okay, we'll see how that goes. He's in the kitchen. So I'm out, and it's very open living room, extremely open living room. So what have we got? Yeah, so Brooklyn Tweeds Knit and Crochet Blankets by Jared Flood. Really like this book. And I have to try and get it to my friend Lisa before I go. But I don't know whether it's going to happen. All right. I think that's all I've got to do today. So what am I doing? So on Sunday, we're flying to Helsinki. And I've got my, I'm ready for snur. And I've got all the, what I've done is got all the yarn shops worked out priorities. So basically, Snur in Helsinki. If you've got any places in Helsinki you can suggest, I'm going to go and see yarn in the supermarket and take some pictures. Although we have been to Denmark and to Norway before, so I have seen yarn in supermarkets before, but it's still a novelty and I'll still enjoy it. We're 3 nights in Helsinki and then we fly to Lisbon in Portugal. And woolly-wise, my favourite place I'm going to is Retrosaria Pomar, and looking forward to going in there. I just love their yarns. I've used Mungo, I've used a number of their yarns. What ones are they? My phone's there, so I can't figure it out. I will put those up on the screen. I've used lots of them. So this one starts with B. I've used. Oh, Mondine is another one. It's very good. So I plan on buying a little bit there. And then I'm going to the UK. So back in the UK, I am looking to get some Rerum Natura. I really like it. I'll probably get a sweaters quantity or a jumpers quantity. And the other one I'm actually quite keen to try is Motor by Wool Dreamers. But apart from that, maybe some knitting for Olive, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I've got a lot. So unless I've got a plan for it, I don't really want to buy it too much. So I'll see how we go. And then home again. So 5.5 weeks. We're working a few weeks in the UK, and just for our company here, we'll do some work over there, visiting clients. And I might get to Dublin to This Is Knit. We'll see how we go. So yes, we're going to Dublin. So we're only going to Dublin for a night. So I'm hoping they're going to be open. I'm fairly sure it's midweek and I'm fairly sure they're open. So I need to double check that. And but we arrive in the afternoon and we leave by lunchtime the next day. So hubby could go to meetings and our staff member, and I'm going to the yarn shop. Anyway, why don't you tell me what you've been doing? I love to hear from you all. And I know it's not very regular, and I keep saying I'm going to try and do it more regularly, but that's okay. So life's busy. We've been looking after grandchildren. We had our eldest grandson over for a couple of nights, and they've all been sick. So I'm trying to avoid them as well because I don't want to get sick, but I feel guilty because I need to help them. But then I'm doing too much, so my hip replacement needs rest, and anyway. Gets all very dramatic. So, but I'm generally well and healthy, so that's good. So you have a great month or two before I see you again. I'll try and report in from different places and different maybe, I don't know, might even get inspired and do some mini-sodes or something with the yarn stores that I visit. So, and the places I visit. So. Look after yourselves, and I hope you have a lovely week ahead and you've had a good cup of tea while you've sat and had a chat. See ya.
I'll do it 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome home! wanna not follow the signs. You're looking like a one-way, gotta make the right choice. Hope I make the right noise, hoping that you like boys like me. I know you're feeling me from across the room. I got a feeling you could be my muse. I hear strange when I see you. You say green, but I see blue. Either way, your eyes the ones I'm looking to when I'm head